What's up, guys? This is David coming at you from Organic Priced Books with a triple D. This is a David deep dive on a title that I'm super excited to read, guys. It is Batman and Robin, the Omnibus. This is a title that's highly sought after, and you know what? I wanted to dive deep into it and take a look and basically go over it. As you can see, these are all my notes. They're color coded, yellow or green. Green, I had blue, but I lost all my blues, so I had green. Those are the cool things. Red are things that almost made me cry, and there's like a couple yellow, which are deaths.
Yeah, there's a lot of red. I guess you cried a lot.
Hey, I'm gonna show you, bro. This book pulled at my heartstrings. I'm a huge Batman fan, so I had to go in there, you know. And seriously, it pulled out of my heartstrings. This is actually, I'm gonna say it's one of my favorite books now, or series, just because of the dynamic that you see between Batman and Robin. Before we get started, guys, as always, if you want to be eligible to win a $25 gift card, all you have to do is subscribe to this channel, leave a comment down below, and then we will see who wins. Okay, so let's take a look. Here's the front. Here is the spine and the back. And this run, so this is originally, it was Batman and Son, which is whenever Damian first came. Or it was actually after Batman died, when Darkseid killed him with his Omega beams. So it's when Robin took over, or you know, Dick Grayson. So this actually just kind of continues that, but it also goes into the basically the relationship between Damian and all of the other Robins and Batman. So here's how the cover looks like together. I really like this. This is like the different Robins. So you have Red Hood, you have Tim Drake here, and you have Barbara Gordon, and then you have, of course, Damian over here in Batman. All right, so let's take a look, guys. I really enjoyed the story. It took forever to read. This thing is easily over 1,000 pages. It's a big boy book. It's definitely a big boy. It's a thick boy. And this is the cover page. Okay, so we're gonna go into it pretty quickly. I don't want to take too much time of your time, but this book is great.
50 minutes later.
It collected from 2011 all the way till 2000. I think it's 2014. So about 4 years worth of the series. And it, again, like I said, it starts off with, this one's really cool. It starts off already pulling out your heartstrings. It's all of the Robins, if you want to call them, together. You got Grayson, you got Drake, you got Damian here, and they're basically just sitting together to watch a movie. Here comes Batman, and they all sit together. They all have these lazy boys recliners, and they're watching a movie. Already, I put a red thing because that just pulled out my heartstrings. It was so, it is, oh, it's so sad. So, you know, so emotional. Anyway, after that, it breaks onto this, and this is Grayson as Batman, not Bruce. So this is the whole time whenever Batman was dead because of the whole Omega Beam situation, and it kind of shows their relationship a little bit. It doesn't go too much in it because the Batman and Son kind of covers that more in depth. And let's take a look. The pages are nice and thick. The colors are very vibrant. I like the black on here between the pages. It doesn't have numbers on the pages, which I didn't like, but you know what? You can't have everything you want. This is cool. This is cool. I put blue here because this is really cool. You know, you know, for Batman and Robin, it's always about being in the shadows, and then this villain is like basically glow in the day, you know, glow bright, and so he makes things bright like that. And as you can see, this is a really cool title. So is this one. Yes, this is the villain. I don't remember what his name was. If you do, please let me know. But he basically wanted to bring to light all the bad, basically kill all the family members of all the villains, so he tries to kill all of them, and they're trying to stop him, of course, and they do, of course. You know, it's Batman and Robin, they always do. But you know, he can like light up the signs for this one. This is Arkham Asylum, so he wants to go in there and kill all of the family members of the villains. So it's really cool where they go in there, and he's kind of just trying not capture, but tell them, I got everybody, I got all of your family members except for the Joker. That's pretty funny because and then the Joker's like, oh, I already killed them all. So that's a pretty interesting, like, ooh, I didn't know that, you know, kind of like backstory. The artwork on this one is really cool. I like it a lot. I didn't know Batman could shoot his little ears, pew pew. He shoots them off, and they finally capture this guy. And then, okay, so this is another interesting story. It is about a group of villains who are basically all of Batman's. Oh wait, no, this is this guy. So this guy is basically one of Bruce Wayne's not childhood friends, his mentors that when he tried to learn to be a detective or to be a tracker and all that. This is the son of one of those guys who he basically kind of pushed out of the way so that he could take over, and he becomes upset. And Bruce is back in this one. So again, it kind of just jumps into that. It doesn't really tell you how he came back because that's a different story. It was its own title. So this is just Bruce is already back and he's there with Damian. Their relationship is a little strained because he's been gone for about a year because he was dead. So their relationship, even through all of this, is just like really strained. They're not getting along really well. And there's where this guy kind of puts his foot in between their relationship and entices Damian to, hey, come work with me. You know, I'll train you better than Batman. I don't have a moral code. I'm not afraid with killing, because you know Damian was trained as an assassin from his mother Talia al Ghul and his grandfather Ra's al Ghul. So he was trained to kill, and Batman of course has told him, nope, you can't kill. So this guy comes in and is like, hey, I don't care about that. I'll train you just as good as Batman, but you can kill people. So he was very like, ooh, maybe I should. And you know, through the story, he kind of does tell him, I'll do it, but it was all just a ploy. But there's some really cool interactions here between, and he just kind of tells you his story of him trying to learn all that information from this guy, or how he trained with him. So it gives you a little of that information, which is really cool. But basically, you know, Damian did it just so he can get close to the guys to hurt him. And let's go ahead. He's really strong. He's almost a match for Batman, and he has these like sonic boom kind of gloves that are really cool. In the end, he's gonna kill Damian, but then he does basically this Chinese move that like hits him in the head. That's supposed to paralyze him, but he hits him wrong, and Damian kills this guy. So that's my first yellow of a death. Ooh. So Damian basically like just makes this guy brain dead, and Damian's as you can see here, look, his fingers in his head, like in his head, like, and look like that. Look. So yeah. So then Batman's like, you know, he kind of has to take him out of that situation, but it kind of plays the rest of the story a little bit. It's him kind of having to deal with the fact that he killed somebody, and okay, so this part's really cool, or is interesting because it's kind of his relationship with his mom, or it kind of shows him growing up. So this is him as a little kid being trained, you know, in all the different skills. And then, but his biggest question, no matter how little he was, is who's my dad? Who is my dad? Who is my dad? And then I guess he found a trunk that Talia had with a cowl of him. And look, isn't this cute? He's wearing the Batman costume over him. Look, I'm a bat. So even from a young age, he was very drawn towards his dad. And as you can see here, it shows like this montage of him training with all different people and all the different things that he had to learn through. You know, he had to know his culture, his history, his artistry, his chemistry, self-defense, different aspects. He had to fight his mom animals repeatedly to just get better and better. So really, out of all the Batman, or out of all of the Robins, Damian is definitely the most dangerous because he's the most trained, he's the most knowledgeable, and he is probably the most skilled fighter based on his age. Because right now, you think about it, he's only like 11, 12, and he's kicking butt with Batman, and you'll see later on he fights the other Robins and he easily kicks their butts. So, you know, he's fighting grown-ups, he's fighting guys who have been doing this for a while, and he's kicking their butt. Okay, so it kind of just gives you more information on his, like, you know, his, I guess his upbringing, and also gives you information on Talon are here. If you don't know about Talon, he's part of the Court of Owls, this is when the whole Court of Owls was happening. So these guys were hunting one of the army generals, and then Damian was tasked to protecting him. So it kind of shows that as that montage there of him fighting. That one was really cool. And this is the one that I really liked. It's basically Damian fighting all the Robins. And so all of these guys are people who have been hurt by Batman. So this guy got hit in the face, and his boot is basically permanently stamped of Batman on his face. This guy got hit in the brain with a batarang, and he's like talks to himself, and he has a batarang through his head. This guy like was burned in like some sort of chemical attack the Batman was responsible for, or Damian was, and now they're like 3 guys together. This girl has batarangs in her back, like in her back. So it kind of just shows you that Batman, yeah, he you know, protects the innocent, but bro, the people who he hurts are just, they are ghastly. Oh, okay, so I really like this because they're supposed to take a picture of all, you know, you got Damian, you got Bruce, you got Drake, you got Grayson, and Alfred. But he doesn't want to take a picture. You know, Damian's very independent. I don't want to do this. You're not my dad, but wait, you are my dad. You're my hero. And it goes through that. They fight this guy. So he's also one of the, like, he suffered from Batman's, you know, he has damage from Batman's battles. And then he has this like big old robot that they fight. So then Batman goes again, gets his freaking cool power suit. I like this. This was cool. Blue for cool. Get it? That's so cool. And it shows a lot of different styles of the ships as well as the cars. I like it a lot. The color combination, of course, you know Batman is dark, so there's always dark with like browns, yellows, reds. It really does play into the ambiance of the book. I really like that a lot. And okay, we see a change of style here. I like this too. So this one is, let me just pull it over here. What is happening here? I know I put this for a reason. Why is this? Oh yeah. I think I just put it because this part was I don't know. I don't know why I put that one. I have to remember that. Okay. Oh yes. So this is the start of one that I like because it's called Batman Impossible. So I put it here because it's the start of it. So basically, Damian sends Bruce on a scavenger hunt, and he tells them, "I made a scavenger hunt for you. I need you to go find some stuff." So Bruce is like, "You know what? I'll play along." So while he's traveling, Damian goes ahead and kind of takes over as the role of Batman for a little bit, and he basically dresses up like that. This is his Batman costume. As you can see, it's like a trench coat, and it's very reminiscent of his Batman costume when he gets older. There's a whole series on that as well. I put a blue because that's cool too as well. So he's basically sending Batman to get different things, and one of them here is, let's see, he sends them to like some city in Europe where there's a painting that basically his mom made while they were staying there. So it says Martha and Bruce. And Bruce like remembers it, and he's like, I can't believe that's still there. And basically the hotel had it set up as well. Damian, of course, is just fighting crime. He thought about this whole thing. He planned it ahead. So Bruce is basically traveling all over Europe while he's in Gotham, pretending he's in Europe as well, setting up these scavenger hunt, but he's actually in Gotham fighting crime. And he's basically enjoying himself because he doesn't have anybody to tell him what to do. He's just being his own person. Even here, he talks to Gordon like on top of the light, so Gordon can't tell that it's Damian, but Gordon's like, I can tell it's you, bro. Like, come on, you're a little kid. All right, so then he sends them over to this statue, and it's basically on their honeymoon. That's basically Martha and Thomas Wayne, which are his parents, and they took a picture in that statue, and he sent them there. So that's really sweet. Like, aw, like he really dove in to get the information on that. Okay, then he's fighting some other guy. Blah blah blah. And here's another one. Okay, so then he sends them over here, and it's basically where Thomas proposed to Martha Wayne, and it was done on a rock on one of the Colosseums, like they're here in Greece. And basically he makes a sketch, and the guy's like, you can keep that, and he's like, no, we'll leave it in there. So Damian found out that information and sent him there. There he goes. He comes back. And then he sends Alfred to go be like an actor, which he wanted to do. So that's cool. Like he thinks about things not only for Bruce, but also for Alfred. So I kind of really like this whole title, or this issue, is because he goes and he not only thinks of things for Bruce that actually connect him with his parents, but he does things for Alfred as well to connect. So that's very thoughtful of him. Like even though he's very hard exterior wise, he's trying to be different and trying to connect with both parental figures that he has, which is Bruce Wayne and Alfred Pennyworth. All right, this next part is actually when the Joker comes back and kidnaps all of the Bat family. So this is actually that storyline, which is Death of the Family. And it's him, how he gets captured by the Joker, basically. And it's actually pretty gruesome. Like the Joker in this one is very sadistic and gross. Like there's bugs, there's worms, there's faces being ripped off, and it makes basically he has to fight somebody who he thinks is his dad. Of course, it's not Bruce, but he has to fight him, and he's like emotional. He's like, I don't want to have to kill you. And then at the end, he's like, you know what? If you having to kill me returns you, then go ahead and kill me. And the Joker doesn't like that, so he like stops him. But basically, that's actually really cool because he's not wanting to. He doesn't like to lose Damian, so him admitting go ahead and kill me, Dad, and that kind of is a big step for him. And then you have that whole Death of the Family, which is its own separate series. That was really cool. Let's see here. He had some bad dreams, and then as you can see here, he's been like in this water thing for some. It kind of shows it throughout the whole series as he's going through the sewers looking around for stuff, and I'll show you what that leads to eventually. Let's see here. Oh, okay. So this is super, super heartbreaking, guys. This one that says "Life is a dream." Life is but a dream. So doesn't show it again. Doesn't show it on here, but this is after Damian dies at the hands of the Leviathan, which is one of the he's basically like a henchman for Talia al Ghul, and both Damian and Talia al Ghul die in that story. Basically, Leviathan runs the sword through Damian, and then Talia al Ghul gets shot in the head by an assassin. So then this is them kind of dealing with that aftermath. As you can see, Bruce is just by his bed, and he sees like these sketches that he was doing, and then this page is super sad because it's Alfred crying because they haven't finished the picture or the painting of the family. And then as you can see, Damian is not done yet, and he's just tearing up. Bro, that was like, ooh. And they're just kind of remembering all of the, like him going down the stairs or down the tube, and Damian laughing, and then his costume there. And this is basically where it happened. As you can see, it's like this light pole. That's where it happened. So Batman is kind of in that area. He gets his car and just destroys the light pole basically, because he is not having it. And this is really cool. I should have put a blue one here, but I didn't have my stickers at the moment. I kind of ran out. So then, as you can see, Batman kind of goes on the deep end, just stopping everybody. He becomes extremely brutal, because that's kind of how he processes death. Is he just basically takes it out on the bad guys, and all here is just bad guys that he took down that night, all over the lamp. And look, he's all over here crying in the shower. And he's just so. This is a letter that Damian wrote for him, and he's just so upset, bro. Oh man. Look, this one, ooh, I should have put a red one on here. This one also made me sad. And he's just holding the costume. Bro, tear. This is a cool story. So she was training him to be an actor, and she goes looking for, basically trying to get some answers. And then Batman goes on the deep end trying to find a way to resurrect Damian. He kidnaps basically Frankenstein to see how he's able to be alive, to try to get his power, and basically Tim Drake has to stop him. So that's really interesting. Batman goes like off the deep end. Look, he dissects Frankenstein basically, and Tim Drake stops him at that point. And then he goes. Let's see. He calls on Jason Scott, which is the Red Hood, because he needs his help. And then basically, I think they're the ones that killed Talia al Ghul, these sniper guys. So they go after them, but it's in the same valley where he died. And basically, they kind of fight because he's like, why would you bring me to the place that is the most traumatic event for me? And he's like, well, I suffered. My son died, and you died too. So it's kind of like, it's this their relationship is really strained, and it's sad about that. Here it is with the Joker, or with Harvey Dent. So this one is with Batgirl, and her kind of whenever she sees him fighting and she tries to talk to him, but he is not having any of it. So she goes to the Batcave, and he just kind of like goes off on her, and she just basically breaks where the Robin suit was, and he has to deal with that. This one is with Catwoman, kind of the same thing. Like, this is really, I put a red one here because he basically, okay, so for this girl, she's like, where's Damian, and he can't tell her that he died, so he actually has to grab the recordings of all of their conversations between Bruce and Damian, and basically make like a fake, like word thing for it. And this is him just having to hear it, and he just looks so sad. And okay, let's keep going. All right, and okay, this one's really sweet because he helps save this girl that was being like kidnapped. So you see him smiling there. So he's kind of like getting over it. Okay, this one is heartbreaking, guys. Woo, heartbreaking. So basically, this is the guy that killed Damian, and as you can see here, it's kind of replaying it, and he's trying to see how he could have fixed it using like a VR simulation, and he's like replaying it over and over and over again, and he's not able to do it. So then basically Tim Drake comes in, and he's like, you know what, let's go together, we'll do it together. So they jump into the VR simulation together, and this was cool because they managed to stop Leviathan from killing Damian in the simulation. So they were able to do it, and as you see here, they stop him, but of course in the simulation it doesn't matter because it's fake. As much as he wanted to, he couldn't do it, so he takes off the helmet, and then you see Alfred put it on, and he's kind of just reliving the last day he had with Damian, telling him, you shouldn't be going, and how he should have like put a sleeping pill in his drink and like carried him to bed. And then you see him like crying about it, bro. Oh, this one hit hard. Oh, real hard. I think I put a yellow one, or a green. Sorry, I started using green for cool. Anyway, okay, so this story was really interesting. I thought, I'm like, why are they including this in the thing? So it's basically a little bit of Two-Face's backstory, and I kind of didn't understand it. I personally didn't like it because it's not really Batman and Robin, but the story itself is really cool. So this girl is basically the one who scarred Two-Face, Harvey Dent, and it's kind of her coming back because she was like an international terrorist, so she was in a different country, and when she came back, or she came back for something, and it kind of shows how she basically damaged his face. She came back for it, and Harvey Dent is trying to kill her for the damage that she did to him, and Batman has to kind of save her from not only from Two-Face, but also from some other criminal family. So that story is really like interesting. It's interesting, but I felt like it wasn't part of the overlying plot of Batman and Robin, because this was Batman and Robin, so I don't know why that was included on there, but I guess it was part of the title. So it's very, very, very heavily centered on Harvey Dent, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, I mean, it's interesting, but I don't think it fit into the story. But the one thing I will say that I was not expecting is basically at the end of it, as you can see here, or between the story, you find out that Harvey Dent knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman this whole time. Like, he even said, like, you could did Bruce. So, and this is Batman, basically Batman's shocked face. So he knows, he's, I guess, known all along that Bruce Wayne is Batman, even when he was the Harvey Dent, when he was like the full DA. So that's really interesting. So then, they Batman saves this lady, but she gets arrested, blah, blah, blah. And this part actually I was not expecting this at all. So basically, he's been tossing the coin to kill himself every day. And then it's always landed on the non-scarred face, so he wouldn't do it. And I guess this time it finally did, and it feels like, and he says, feels like my lucky day. Gilda, of course, Gilda is his wife, and he basically kills himself. Boom. I was not expecting that at all. Yellow for death. What? Yeah. So that one was pretty crazy. Why did I have this one yellow? Oh, yellow because of the death of Damian. Oof, guys. I'm telling you, this was really good. This story was really interesting. This is when Grayson when first became Robin, and his different costume style, so that was pretty funny. And it gives you like their interactions, and basically he kind of tells Batman of his interactions with this guy called Tusk, and how basically Damian finished him off, I would say, and presented the test to him. Okay, so then this part is somebody basically took Damian and Talia's bodies from where Bruce Wayne had them buried, and he's basically looking for who it was. We now know that it's Ra's al Ghul. So he goes to Atlantis because that's where it's been tracking it. And as you can see here, it turns out that Ra's al Ghul has been trying to create clones of Damian, and these are like the results of them. They're like monstrosities. So Batman has to fight them, but Aquaman is also fighting them. This is a really cool storyline because it leads to a very, very interesting interaction between Batman and the Justice League. So here, Aquaman is helping him, and then at the end, Ra's al Ghul escapes. So he's like, I have to go to the next spot, which I guess Ra's al Ghul was going to Themyscira, which is the home of the Amazons, and Wonder Woman takes him, but I guess he's never been there before. So this is kind of like out of the New 52. Their interactions are a little bit different. So he's getting beat up, but basically he's like, I'm here to rescue my son. I'll be gone by the end of the day or by dusk. So they let him do it. They go to this there's one of the Lazarus pits that rests between the two worlds, which is the normal world and Themyscira. So it's kind of like straddles the magical world, so it's more powerful. And as he is going to basically try to reactivate it, instead it unleashes this monster, and they have to fight it. Ra's al Ghul escapes, but they manage to, beat the monster, and he follows them to the next place, which is another interaction with Frankenstein. And as you can see here, he's basically traveling to the North Pole. Frankenstein is still mad that Batman dissected him, but he apologizes. He says, I'm sorry, I apologize. And Frankenstein, cool, we're best friends now. Anyway, he's looking for the city of Nanparat. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, I apologize. Nanaparat, yeah. Nanaparbat, whatever.
Nanaparbat. I heard that from Green Arrow. That's how you called it.
Nanaparbat, or something my mom is fat. Yeah.
Oh, your mom is what?
But it's basically a city that kind of is a place that guards the mortal realm, and Batman went there to train when he was, trying to find himself. But basically, that city is no longer there. There's just like a big hole, as you can see here. Where does it show that? Yeah, it's like a big hole. It was another event that happened earlier, so it doesn't really show that, but it kind of gives you a little backstory on that. And Ra's al Ghul goes there because underneath that city was another Lazarus pit. So because the city disappeared, he has access to it now, so he goes over there to resurrect them again. And Batman and Frankenstein team up with they team up with Yetis, as you can see here. The Yetis kind of fight them to begin with, but then they kind of form an alliance. So there you go, Batman fights with Yetis, or is friends with Yetis, and they're gonna try to stop Ra's al Ghul. They fight there, and basically as they're fighting, somebody comes through a mother box boom tube, which is Glorious Godfrey, which is one of the Apocalypse. All right, so Glorious Godfrey comes out because basically Ra's al Ghul has this chaos shard, which is part of like a bigger chaos crystal that was destroyed in another DC event, which they reference to here, but I wouldn't know which one it is. So if you do know, please let me know. And it kind of, when Bruce touches it, he kind of remembers all of the stuff that he had to go through, basically. And as you can see here, it kind of breaks it down. Whenever he fought with Ra's al Ghul, Talia saved him, gave him antidote for poison. He goes and beats up Ra's al Ghul. They have a passionate night together, but it leads to Damian being born. And then she trains Damian, and he attacks Batman. Batman makes him Robin. They fight crime. Batman dies by the Omega beams from Darkseid. Batman and Tim and Grayson become Batman for a while. Batman goes through time to come back, and then he comes back. So it's kind of just a really quick breakdown of the story so far, basically. And then it also shows, Batman fighting this guy. That's the guy that basically Damian killed, as you can see here. They're kind of a family. Then these guys attack, and then they're a happy family, of course. And then, as you can see here, death of the family. Batman getting trapped by the Leviathan. as you can, Damian fighting him, Damian being killed by him, as you see here. You find that the Leviathan was just a clone of Damian that had been like mind controlled by Talia, who also gets killed. Talia gets shot in the head. Damian is dead. Batman is sad. Batman attacks Frankenstein. Batman, Red Hood attacks Batman. Batman and Batgirl fight. The simulation. Sad boy. And now we're back to here, basically the resurrection. Okay, so basically Glorious Godfrey wants the crystal and Damian's tomb because it has a little bit of the shard in it too as well, or some signature. So they fight. They do their best to try to stop him, but he's getting away. And as he's getting away, boom, the Justice League shows up. Green for cool. I had no more blue. So this is like the newer Justice League, which has Lex Luthor and Captain Cold, I believe. And so they're fighting these guys. And Aquaman, there's Shazam, there's Wonder Woman, no Flash, no Superman. Yeah. So anyway, they're like, we gotta leave. And as soon as they're Batman, he's gonna go in with them. Shazam cuts the rope. Batman gets mad, hits him. So this is like, I put it cool because basically he's like, I'm gonna go to Apocalypse to bring back Robin alive. He wants to bring him back, basically. So he had kind of given up hope on resurrecting him, but now he's kind of wanting to bring him back. So that's pretty cool. This interaction I thought was really cool with him in the Justice League. So he's trying to go back to use the mother box to basically go to Apocalypse, right? Everybody's like, nope, you're not gonna go. He attacks Cyborg and he travels to the Justice League Tower. He disables the communication with it so they can't get in there, and they take off, right? To go to the tower, he goes in there. He opens up a door, and what's in it? The Hellbat costume. Bro, this thing is amazing. He basically made it exclusively to fight otherworldly threats, and this part was also really cool. Basically, it was forged in the sun by Superman, as well with the help of Green Lantern, the Flash, Cyborg, Aquaman, and Wonder Woman. So it's basically a magic-infused, incredibly powerful suit that lets him fight beings like Darkseid. But it does drain his life if he uses it. So it's like a double-edged sword. You can use it, but it's going to kill you. Look at this cool costume, JP. It's called the Hellbat. The Hellbat costume. It's forged by Superman in the sun.
Oh, yeah?
Green Lantern, the Flash, Cyborg, they all help build it. So this thing is made to take on Darkseid, but it also can like kill you if you don't use it right.
What?
So he's fighting the Justice League to try to get that suit to go back, and then they all basically stop him here. They all have to stop him because he's trying to go to Apocalypse by himself. So they tie him up and they all stop him. Superman comes and is like, you shouldn't feel too bad, but he's like, don't worry about it. Then he gets all of his friends and he's like, we're gonna go to Apocalypse and start and get Dark and then get Damian back. So basically they trick the Justice League and he takes the suit, and Lex Luthor's like, I'm not gonna try to stop you. There's no point in it. I'm just gonna help your costume get better. So he gives him some upgrades to the suit, and Batman basically takes off for Apocalypse. This whole arc was super cool to me just because it showed the determination of Batman as well as the ingenuity of the suit. And he looks so. That's why I put another green for cool. This is such a badass suit. I love it. Okay, so he goes to Apocalypse by himself. He's basically fighting all of these guys and whooping air the whole time. The other Robins are like, you know what? We need to go help him. So they go ahead and call Cyborg, and they're like, we're gonna put a virus in your system to send us to Apocalypse. Only he doesn't know. They do it basically, but they're like, you know what? We're gonna put some of Damian's armor on because I guess he has armor. And as you can see, they upgraded their suits. Let me show you what they look like before, and then you can see it. So look, it's like this jacket, just black and red, and then they upgrade to that. So that's really cool. I like that a lot. And they basically go into Apocalypse to help Batman. And Batman, of course, has been just taking names, kicking butt, and at this point, Darkseid is basically in this like he's healing, right? So then he finally is able to save him. He's beaten up. I forgot what this guy's name is, but it's basically Darkseid's son. He says it a lot. he'll say it again. And then you see the shadow of Darkseid in the back. Super cool. I put that in green there. So basically Darkseid revives. He had been like healing or something. And Batman's like, I'm gonna kick your butt. And then boom, he basically starts whooping him like hardcore. But then of course, you know, it's Darkseid. You can only take it on for so long. It's just a time game before he destroys you. Rips off his wings. Is about to like...
Bro, he looks like he powerlifts.
Bro, for reals. He powerlifts planets, bro. So Batman is like, shoot me. And he shoots him with the Omega Beams, but he has the shard, which basically attracts the Omega Beams and powers them up even more. He uses that to open up a boom tube. And look, he basically blasts Darkseid. Look at this. This is so cool. It's the bat symbol and then Darkseid in the middle, like his outline. Funny. Activates the boom tube. They all leave. And it's basically killing Batman, as you can see here. Like it's making his face all like draining him. So he uses the crystal to, you know, plunge it into the sarcophagus where Damian's body is, and it basically brings him back. Oh! And they're all like, "What the fuck?" And then Damian is back. I put a red here because this was like, it was so sweet. So he's back. They fight. This guy comes through because the boom tube wasn't closed. So this guy comes through. What's his face? What's his name? His name is Kilowatt. I don't know. Kill a guy. Kill something with a kill. Yeah. So then he's fighting and Kalima. Anyway, basically Damian got some sort of power from the crystal, so he's kind of like Superman. He has super strength. He can fly. He can move at amazing speeds. And basically, Batman throws one of the planes to send him through the boom tube, and it closes. Cool. So the aftermath of this is just, you know, Damian's back, but now he has powers, and Batman has to basically deal with that. He can fly, and Damian wants to just basically use them to fight crime, and Batman has to control him. So I thought, especially that part of him coming back was definitely the top part or the peak of the whole book to me. And then after that, it's just kind of, you know, a little bit more of their story, of their dynamic. Here he goes like to the bottom of the ocean to bring back his brothers, his clone brothers, and set them free to live on an island. And then, of course, he interacts with the Justice League a little bit. Let me take a look. They're kind of testing his strength. He's like super fast and super strong. So that was I put that was cool just because it shows all of this, and Batman's like, I don't know what to do with him because he's now like a little, you know, with his character he's like a jerk, but he has powers now. We can't stop him. So then basically they get together with the Justice League and they create this like, they're kind of having him burn through his powers. So they create this giant robot and he has to fight it. And him and Shazam are like, since they're both like teenagers, they're like, yeah, we're so cool. And he uses his powers. As you can see here, they're all like, you know, Batman's like, thanks for setting this up to burn his powers. So he kind of does burn through them, and he kind of loses them at the end. So he's back to normal. Look, he's trying to use his eye vision, his laser vision. It's not working. He jumps out the window thinking he can fly, and he has to like grab onto the window. It's pretty funny. So then basically, he comes back to being Robin. This is a change of it. I like this style is more realistic or more detailed, as you can see. But it was cool. This is just like an extra story of them on space, so it's kind of just their relationship. It's pretty cool, but I kind of feel like it's extra. The story kind of ended with me. It's whenever he came back, and this is actually when he was gone, or I guess when he died, and like he's just kind of like it's kind of like a one-off story, and it's kind of when Grayson comes and becomes the Batman. The style of this one is really, really interesting. You can see like it's more cartoony, but it's actually fits really well with it. And then this one is a special story that was for the 75th anniversary of Batman. So it's actually like his 75th birthday. And as you can see, it's an old Bruce Wayne, and you have like the other characters who are also old, like Grayson, Drake, Barbara Gordon is now Commissioner Gordon. And then Damian is like this older Batman with like the trench coat, which is pretty cool. So it's kind of them telling him happy birthday. Then like the bat symbol comes out, and then you see like an old Batman coming out of like, he's like, my knees hurt. my back hurts, my feet hurt, but I'm not going to miss this opportunity to go out on my 75th birthday. So he goes out. This, I put it because it's so cool. So as you can see, it's the bat symbol, but all of it is him fighting. So like him like landing makes against these guys, and it all makes the big bat symbol. So that was really cool. I was like, this was really well designed. It finally starts putting the page number out here, and look, 1212, guys. This is a huge book. So then he comes back to the cave, and they're like, oh, looks like all the crime was taken care of. I wonder by who. And he's like, I don't know. But he's like, suckers, I'm the Batman. Nobody can stop me. And okay, so that was basically the last story. So that was kind of a really cool ending, just because it was like a 75th anniversary thing. And then this is just kind of extras. There's a lot of extra covers for this. And there's some funny ones, like this one's for like Scribble Knots. Then they have one for Steampunk. Look, Robot Chicken cover, the variant, the Mad Magazine variant, like a rejuvenation cream for the Lazarus Pit. That's pretty funny. Another Mad Max. This is the monster variant of Batman and Robin. This one is the Lego variant. Another variant cover. This one's like the 1960s style. The Harley Quinn variant with them as dolls. That's pretty funny. Harry Potter variant. That one's actually pretty funny too. Let's see. You have that one. Then you have some of these sketches on here and storyboards, which is really cool. And then there you go, guys. So that is the end. So that was David deep dive on the Batman and Robin Omnibus, guys. The stories were great. It really dove into the dynamic of Batman and Robin, their relationships, and the strains that they had to go through several different events and different major events that happened in the family. So I thought it was really cool. If you're a fan of Batman and Robin, I would highly recommend this, because you get to see a lot of that dynamic that you don't usually see in comic books, like the relationships. As you can see, I had a lot of notes for it, and it was well worth it. We have this in the Whatnot. We have it as one of the giveaways as well for the mystery boxes. So if you haven't gotten yours, try to get it. I would definitely recommend it. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bro.